I think we're live. Hey there, it's Teresa here, and welcome to another episode of Conversations from My Couch. Hi, I'm Teresa Youngkin. I am a leadership coach and consultant, and you can find me here every Wednesday having a conversation from my couch about all things leadership. So let's get started. So last week we talked about how important it was to have leadership vision for your team and why being able to communicate that vision is important. So what do you do when you've built that leadership vision and you still see signs of disengagement, increased turnover, maybe lower productivity for your team? And much like a car that pulls in one direction or the other, you might have to check your alignment. So, most likely, your message is not being delivered or received in a way that allows for mutual understanding from both parties. So, here's some strategies to make sure that you've got alignment across your teams. Here are three pillars you should have when doing any type of communication. Number one, be clear when you communicate. Number two, have meaningful conversations. And number three, provide encouragement and feedback at the right times to your team. I know that sounds super easy, and this is where my clients get stuck most often. Saying the right words at the right time in the right way, right? It's so difficult to negotiate conversations and relationships and the things that we say. Really difficult. So I did a little bit of research and I've done it over the years. And I have to say that I really appreciate the Forbes Communications Council. They have put out a blurb about it, and I really, really appreciate that they kind of boil it down to some 7 really soft skills for communicators to support your communication efforts. Number 1, you need to have empathy, right? You need to provide support and collaboration whenever you are whenever you're in a relationship, and you need empathy to be able to do that. Number 2, emotional intelligence, right? We need to manage our emotions when we're speaking to others. Number 3, you need to be able to listen to understand. You have to have great listening skills. Number 4, you need to show some healthy authority, and you do that through speaking with confidence. We talked about that last week as well. Being sincere and genuine is key. And I know I've talked about this before, how honesty and transparency can build the trust that you need with your team so that they actually do trust you and feel comfortable in making decisions on their own without having to come to you for every single little thing. Um, the ability to respond and to learn new skills when it comes to being in a new environment or getting new responsibilities, right? You need to have some sort of learning agility. Um, Adaptiveness. So what's that? That's being able to pivot based on a client, organizational, or a team need. Sometimes when we start a project, it's not the way that the project ends. We can have different instructions from executive management. Our client may need to switch up what the scope of deliverables are. It doesn't mean we don't renegotiate, but we need to be able to service our clients in the way that they need at the highest with the highest amount of customer satisfaction. Storytelling, that is something that I really, really think is pretty cool. People do respond to stories because they create connections. I like stories. I like to tell stories because that really works. Writing skills. In this new remote world, it really has changed the way that we communicate in writing, right? Remember when you used to be able just to shoot off a quick email and it didn't really mean much? Now people are reading a lot into it because we don't have the physical connection anymore. So your writing skills may need to change. And the last thing, number 10, it's dealing with office politics. We all have to deal with the office politics. So you need to understand how to exhibit diplomacy and to speak in a diplomatic way when you're engaging with your team and with others. Now, if you want to discuss how to better communicate with your team or maybe to build out a communication strategy with some support, I encourage you to book a call with me in the link. And I promise that you will come away with one thing that you can do better to communicate with your team and to start getting your team aligned to your vision. This is my strong point. I love communication. I love collaboration. And as I've been talking about, the one tool that I do like to use so that we can understand If you want to talk to me about how to create a leadership vision, I encourage you to watch last week's video. Please reach out to me and book a call. So you can always find me on all social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and I'm always talking about all things leadership. All right, guys. So I will see you next week where we're going to be talking about execution and the strategies that you can put into place to help your team members work to their highest abilities, or we call it the top of their license, and their talents while making your vision a reality. All right, guys, I will catch you on the flip side. Have a great week. And just remember, I really, in 2022, am encouraging you to become the leader that you want to be and the leader that your team needs you to be. And I'm here to support you in that. All right, take care. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.